Hello, thank you for joining me. Here's our fifth film in our series, Component Constraints and Tags. And probably didn't mention it before, but it is our fifth film in the series. What I like to do in this film is show you how to put together a furniture schedule. But first, let's go and clean this up a little bit. I was just looking at this at the end of our last film, and I don't really care for this section symbol sitting here in the middle of our office. I'm going to go ahead and move that out of the way. In fact, let's just delete it. We only used it just to make sure Cynthia was sitting in her chair. And the nice thing about Cynthia, the entourage Cynthia, is that when you place her on the floor or near a chair, that she typically will look like she's sitting in that chair. And that was the intent before we did our photoreal rendering of her. So we went ahead and deleted that. We don't really need that. And what I'd like to do with our tags here is kind of attach them to our objects. I really like the way that looks. So let's go ahead and choose free end, and why it's going over there I'm not certain, but we're going to put down the object itself. And the desire here, the ultimate desire of putting any sort of annotation in your drawing, is you want to make sure that your drawing looks good. If it looks good, if it's pretty, easily read, things are lined up, then if it's easy to read, then it's going to be easily understood, and you're going to have more of a successful project when you do that. So sometimes it's a little bit of iteration trying to get this together. And we have attached end or unattached end. I prefer to have a free end, just because I don't like the offset. But again, the offset does have its need and its ability, its use. It's just like having a dimension. In regard to a dimension offset, you want to make sure that you do sometimes have that offset, because it could be very confusing. Sometimes being able to judge between what is an annotation line and what is an object line. So that's probably okay for now. Let's go ahead and put together our furniture schedule. So it's going to be a relatively short schedule. Where you find it, even though it's an annotation, you find it under View, under Schedules, Schedules and Quantities. Okay, I guess we haven't saved a project in a while. It's a minor inconvenience. Let's go down to Furniture. Furniture Schedule, and then the elements we want to add to our furniture schedule. Assembly code, no. Assembly description, name, probably not. Comments, cost is a good one. Count, perhaps, that's a good one too. Description of what it is. Family and type, that's a good one. You could do family, but family and type includes additional information as well as what would be in a family, so we're going to choose that instead. Level, manufacturer would be a good one. Mark, probably not, but a type mark would be. And the difference between a mark and a type mark, we didn't really talk about this, is a type mark is like the type of the window, like or the furniture. If you have a number of different chairs, all the same chair, it's going to put the same type mark on it. But the type itself, rather than type mark, will actually put in a specific number for that element. And the most notable one to think about is a door. Every door will, even though the doors are all going to be about the same, there's going to be a specific door number for that door. So door number 1 goes in the office, door number 2 goes into the master office, and so on and so forth. And that's just the way the Revit has that organized. So let's go ahead and move this. This very same filtering, formatting, and appearance tabs that we had before in regard to our room schedule. We can go ahead and change some of these around. So in regard to family and type, let's go ahead and put that in first. Let's put that up top. Let's put cost at the bottom. Manufacturer, count probably would go next. Description, manufacturer on top of description. Type mark, that goes up too. In fact, let's put that in front of family and type. So we're going to start with the type mark, like chair number 3. Family and type would be, desk chair for reception area, perhaps. How many of those chairs you have, the manufacturer of the chair, perhaps a description of the chair, and ultimately the cost. And then we're going to go to OK. Actually, before we do that, let's go to Filter. We're not going to filter anything. Sorting and Group. Let's go ahead and sort that by type mark. Formatting, everything's going to stay the same except for our type mark. We're going to make that centered. And then appearance, we're going to make sure that we leave out that blank row before data and go to OK. So there it is. We do have some fields to fill in. We will save that for an additional video, and I will show you how to do some additional editing.